It took me a bit longer than I should have, but we found the Create New World sign. the, in the year 2142, the sun began a series of unexpected and massive solar eruptions known as the Great Solar Storms. These eruptions are far more intense than any previously recorded, releasing immense amounts of radiation towards the Earth. Scientists predict that the next major eruption, anticipated within the next decade, could last at least 500 years and has the potential to eradicate all life on Earth. Facing this existential threat, humanity has initiated the Eden Initiative, a mission to find and terraform new planets and create a new haven for humanity. Several promising exploratants have been identified for colonization based on their potential habitability and resource availability. Which planet will you choose to be our new home? So I'm not sure if we have the option to terraform all of these planets in one playthrough, or if I have to start a new playthrough for each planet. I don't know yet. I think you can do all the planets in one playthrough. For those of you who that don't know, Eden Crafters is very much Planet Crafters. Very much so. Just slightly different. Planet Crafters doesn't have like a whole lot, like we'll take a look at the water planet first. Here, Ocean World. So this was the one from the demo that I started playing. The Ocean World will give you like tsunamis and stuff like that, but not words, but not like meteor showers or anything. So it's kind of like Planet Crafters, but different. It is by a different dev. I did look that up this morning, because when I originally found it, I thought it was the same dev that did Planet Crafters. So I was just like, oh, awesome. So I put it on my wish list. I got it for Birthiversary, but I figured I'd check this morning before I was like, woo, from the same people who made Planet Crafters. And I found out, yeah, it's not the same people who made Planet Crafters. It's decidedly not the same people who make Planet Crafters that did this game. So like each planet has its own like planetary issues and whatever that it goes through. But basically it's Planet Crafters, just slightly different. Anyway, Echo Prime is a mysterious exoplanet located in the TRAPPIST-1 system, approximately 40 light years from Earth. Its defining feature is a strange, continuous signal that it emits, which has baffled scientists and engineers since its discovery. The signal's origin and purpose remain unknown, making Echo Prime a focal point for interstellar exploration and research. Next, we have Ocean World, which is the one that I have already played. Ocean World is a water-dominated exploratant located in the Alpha Centauri system. We estimate its vast oceans to cover 90% of its surface, and with water already there, it should be easy to turn it into a habitable haven for humanity. It is a size small with 90% water, but 5% chance for rare resources, which could be fun. Etheria. Etheria is a low-gravity, mostly gas planet located in the Kepler-62 system, with floating rock formations suspended above its surface. Etheria is a silent, uninhabited world with immense potential for exploration and resource excavation. It is big, though, only has 5% water, and has a 60% chance for rare minerals. Ooh. Nova Terra. Located within the habitable zone of Proxima Centauri, just 4.24 light years away from Earth, Nova Terra was chosen as the destination for humanity's very first interstellar mission due to its Earth-like characteristics and promising resources. However, the mission ended in failure, and Nova Terra now stands as a reminder of the challenges of space colonization. It's very big, though, with 50% water and 25% of rare resources. Pixis is not available, or Praxis is not available for us yet, but it is a fiery exoplanet located near the Terra Centris system, approximately 12 light years from Earth. Its intense volcanic activity and extreme environmental conditions also provide abundant geothermal energy and rich mineral resources, making it a valuable candidate. But it won't be released until Q4 of this year. So we have Echo Prime. Echo Prime doesn't have any water. We have Ocean World, which is the one I'm familiar with, because that's the one that everybody played in the demo. I mean, tempting, but I kind of want to start with the devil we know, right? With Ocean World. And then we'll see if we can't terraform another planet, or we'll just do a new game and terraform another planet. What do we name the world, though? Qualis? I feel like that's the name from one of the moons at Planet Crafter, isn't it? Aqualis was the name of one of the moons at Planet Crafter. Marina! There we go. Can I... Thank you. In this mode, everything is unlocked, requires no resources. In this mode, there aren't any dangerous planetary events. Not really interested in that. Alright. Keep your inventory after dying. That's the big one for me, is I would like to keep my inventory after dying. I pressed the button, and my mouse disappeared. Okay, good reason for the mouse to disappear. We're loading things in. Okay. Good reason for the mouse to disappear.
Warning, low energy.
Yeah. All right. We have landed. So. What we are going to do, we want to be on 2. Didn't mean to harvest the rocks, but here we are. We're gonna start harvesting some stuff. Real fast. Okay. Oh, good, it kept that. All right. And then we go into the ship to regain some oxygen. We get iron plates, we get oxygen capsules, which we are desperately going to need, food box, and cement. Okay. They want G to deploy the drone. Cool. So can I use the drone to harvest materials. That could be fun. Alright, so I know where we want to go, more or less, because, again, I played this in the demo. Fun fact, your sprint and your tool have the exact same, power. So, if I run out of sprint power, I will not be able to mine with my little mining tool. Okay. Yeah, oxygen low, so let's start by putting this up so that we can just regain oxygen real fast. And then we will take it back down. Okay, so here is the thing. Up over this mountain. Yeah, right in here. This is a great spot for our main base because we have several we've got a couple of rock deposits, we've got iron, quartz, phosphorus, we've got all the basic rock deposits right here. So this would be a great starting off point, I think, for right here. I think what we are going to do, though, is we are going to put our first base right here, more or less. Okay, perfect. Now, we need a workbench. We will need, they like an electricity panel. We need more cement for that, which we can do by just going here and saying, make me cement. Still need, oh, we need cables. Okay. Yeah. Done. Got that done. What else do we need? Okay. We're going to need an assembly bench eventually. We are also probably going to want a plants grower. Thank you. Okay. So let's start with a plants grower. Right here. Because that will give us food. Unlike Planet Crafter, I don't have to plant anything in here. It just do be working though. Okay. Oh, that made me think something was wrong. Yeah. So next up we can do equipment. So this is where we generally want our first base. Like, I might move it a little bit, but like we've got cobalt here. We've got iron here. Oh, I love this. You can harvest from an incredible distance. Look at this. Right? Like, that's an incredible distance. To be able to be like, yeah, you can just harvest from there. But like, we've got copper, we've got iron. We've got a quartz deposit around here. So it's like we've got everything we could possibly need for like the start over on this little archipelago area. Cliff, maybe it's a little cliffside. Also, we do get a map. See, the map tells me what I've got. So I do have a map. I do have everything we need. We just have to get back to my humble little abode before I run out of oxygen. There we go. Cool. Now, let's actually talk assembly bench. I need 2 gears and 2 wires for that. Gears we need rods, rods we need iron. Okay, so we need 6 of these. Done. Okay. And we need more copper is what we need. Yeah, we need more copper. Okay, I can do more copper. See, just like that. Yeah, that's quartz over there. Fun. It's like as long as it highlights, you can grab it. Which means this tool works from a very long distance. Okay. Perfect. So then, we want this guy. Now, that is what I was looking for. We need 3 copper plates for a standard O2 tank. Okay. And I do need an O2 tank. That's seriously not what I was aiming for. Thank you. Okay. There we go. So sometimes the tool does not work the way I want it to. But whatever. Okay. Back home we go before death takes me. Alright. So, thank you. That should give me we need 3 copper plates for this? Yeah, we need 3. Okay, we need way more copper, which is fine. It would help probably if I tapped the nearby copper deposit. That might actually help. So before I decide that's what I'm going to do, I'm just going to stand in here real fast. I mean, I kind of want to, like, clear the area of ore before we start tapping deposits. That's just a personal preference, though. Okay. Yeah, large iron deposit down here. Okay. So I can put down like a planet analyzer and see like where all the nodes are, but I do have to unlock the planet analyzer first. We gotta go back. Yeah, I know. I saw it. We gotta go back. Yep, I know. I'm going. I'm going. I see you. I'm going. Woo! Okay, that should give me enough for an O2 tank, which is good because then I can have more air and we can go further out. There we go. Now we can go further out because now we got 170 oxygen. Okay. So, I will say one of the fun things about this one is you don't have to build the base compartments to build a base. They give you like all of this stuff. So like you can terraform the area and like put in your own ground. You can put in your own asphalt, all that kind of stuff. Glass for, yeah, glass for various building projects. So it's almost like Planet Crafter meets Minecraft. Almost. Because, like, you can build your own house with blocks, but then you can also build your own house with the base compartments, which are cheaper and faster, but hey. Alright, anyway. But it does open you up for, like, making a whole lot of different creations, so that's fun. Anyway. Where do we want to start? Well, let's continue going through and like gathering. I want to clear this area of ore if we can. For no other reason than just I feel like I can. Alright. Okay. Let me actually go to the base. I have a question that's mostly for me. Okay. So if I stand in here and say, give me a drone. There we go. I can then send my drone out, right? And then we can say mine. Ooh. Well, that's fun, isn't it? Okay, so that's my range. I was going to ask about that next, is like, what's my range? So that's my range. Okay. I'm fine with that, actually. That gives me a little bit more of kind of a bird's eye view to see what we want. Because I might want to, like, mess with the ground a little bit here. Okay. So this is fun, because now I won't run out of oxygen. And I can continue to kind of search around to gather more stuff. Yes? Okay, that's my full extent there. I'm wondering if it's not letting me gather things because we're full or what? Because it's not letting me gather anything anymore. Too far out, maybe? So that's fun. So I can start, like, mining minerals and not, like, have to leave the safety of the base, which is helpful. Because then I don't have to worry about losing words that I am thinking of that are not coming to my brain. Losing oxygen. Alright, so we have the base there. We have cobalt, quartz, copper, iron, rock, all right here. Which means I can put drillers on each of these, right? And then we can have them centralize right here to the center of the caldera. I almost want to kind of flatten this area out a bit, but I'm not sure if that's the plan. Right? Oh, that's why the music, I turned the music completely down. That's why there was no music. Oh! Okay, well that changes that. Alright. That's fine. So... I should at the very least put up our first guy, right? Shift to go down. Can we enter? Thank you. And let's just exit. Done. Put him away. Okay, cool. I think that got me more copper. I'm pretty sure that got me more resources. Okay. So then let's talk build menu. So the only thing that I don't like super love is that... Ooh, yeah, that's a little too high on the music. There we go. There we go. That's actually a little bit better. So the only thing that I don't like super love about this is every time you access something from the build menu, it automatically puts it down in your quick bar, which I mean, I guess that's nice, but then I gotta come down here all the time and clean out my quick bar. Because, like, anytime I select something, select that, cool, it's on the quick bar. Which is great until you realize that it does this all the time until it fills out the quick bar. And I'm not going to want to build a dozen workbenches or a dozen assembly benches or a dozen, well, you might want a dozen plant growers. But, like, you're not going to want to build all of this. Right? You're going to want, like, maybe 1 or 2 tables. Maybe a desktop, but you're not going to want all of that all the time. So that's kind of frustrating. However, they do give me the ability to pin from the get-go. You just have to right-click. So, we need iron plates. Okay, and then we need some more cement. And let's target the copper first, or should I target the iron first? Doesn't really matter. We're going to destroy this for a better one in a second anyway. Yeah, see? That's why. Because now we get a better one. Which is part of the other kind of annoying thing. Right? Is like, as soon as I build one, it gives me the T2 for the other one. But it won't give you the T2 until after you build the T1. Which is kind of like, alright, but like, why? Because why not just build T1, then demolish it, build T2, then demolish it, and build the next tier? I have issues. So, we need more plates. We need more cement. We need iron rods. Okay. And we need gears. Okay. We need more iron. Okay. So we need more iron for the next round, which is fine. There's plenty of iron laying around here. We just have to go get it. That's cobalt, which is fine. I did need more copper. I do need more copper. Like, that's not a question. Kay has spotted something to bark at. It is probably the mailman. I do apologize, but my dears, you are in for a bargaining. See? I told you. I said you was in for a bargaining. I did not lie. Here comes the bargaining. I did not lie. She does love to bark. Okay, so I'm gonna need to know where my house is, and I seem to have lost it. That is iron. Okay, I am going this way, more or less. Okay. There we go. Found it! Nobody panic. I found the house. Okay. And then... So close. So close, and I made an accidental oopsies. Okay. So... Don't know why I'm still trying to use my sprint. It's completely emptied out. There we go. Found more iron. Yes, this is a large rock deposit. We're going to need this eventually too. The only thing that's not up here is basalt. There's some basalt down in the original landing area. Thank you. Seriously. Okay, there we go. Okay, we gotta... Actually, we don't have to head back. What I've got to do is I've got to grab that. So we can have a little bit of food. There we go. And then we'll head back in a minute. So the reticule doesn't seem to be like exactly centered. I've kind of got to get like a little bit over top of whatever I'm aiming at to harvest, which, I mean, that's fine. I just kind of am frustrated by that. Excuse me, coming in. Okay. There we go. Perfect. So then that's what we need to get our very first T2. Let's actually target, this time I'm going to target the iron deposit for the T2, or with the T2. Okay, cool. So we have that starting to produce iron once I get some wind turbines down. Okay. I can get rid of that. We won't need it anymore. We will say, what do I need for that? Iron plates and iron rods. Let's see. We're going to need a lot more iron. I can also access things from really far away, which is interesting. Yeah, we need power for that, which is fine. Okay, let me see if we can say... do this. There we go. Let's say go down a bit. I can see it, but you won't let me grab it. Is there a reason for that? No, just trying to be frustrating, because if you're trying to be frustrating, you have managed to frustrate, and I must in fact commend you for your managing to frustrate. Because, like, yeah, see, it won't let me use the drone over here for reasons I don't understand. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Well, for whatever reason, it won't let me use the drone over here. That's fine. Okay. Fine. I was hoping if I stood in the back, it would let me. Iron ore, thank you. See, it lets me get it with this tool. But not the drone. Oh well. I think it's still in early access, so you know, glitches be glitches. And that's okay. There we go. Thank you. See, we've got a lot more stuff up here. I should also probably head down to where the ship is and pull out the drone from there. From the ship. And then we can start harvesting from down there, right? Because I know I can run down there now. We've got more oxygen, so like I could make it down there pretty easily now. So we should probably go back there and pull out the drone as well. And I can clear that beach area out. Oh, that's a large rock deposit. Oh, I don't need that. Where did I leave my house? Over here. Okay. Air first. And then we'll go down to the beach. And we'll go down towards the rocket. Which is actually this way. Let's start harvesting until we get to the beach area. I mean, I should probably really prioritize getting to the beach area first, right? Like, I should probably do that. Because we're going to need air. Seriously. So yeah, the reticule is not like in center. Which is kind of frustrating because I feel like I should be able to point at the mineral and get what I need. But it's not letting me do that. I mean, it's letting me get it from pretty far away, which is cool, but... Okay. Alright. So, here's the plan. It's another large iron deposit. So there's some basalt up there. What we are going to do, though, is I am going to sit in my spaceship. We are going to... It won't let me pull out the drone from the spaceship. Okay. That's fine. We'll just have to try and keep an eye on my oxygen. There we go. That's all. And we'll just stand out here and harvest. Oh, that's battery, not oxygen. Okay, I was going to be like, weird, my oxygen seems to be refilling. No, that's battery, not oxygen. Blue is not oxygen, that's battery. Okay. So... there we go. There we are. It's like it lets you get things from pretty far out, but because the reticule isn't exactly centered, that's kind of frustrating. But whatever. It's still pretty cool either way. There we are. Okay. So then, what we're going to do is we're just going to stop the drone, jump in, get my health regenerated. Now, I have a question that's mostly for me. If I go here... okay. That's how close we need to be to the ship. Cool, which means I can then... ah, it won't let me get up into the cave system from here. Okay. That's fine. So we can then just harvest minerals from up here. Which is helpful. Because then we can start grabbing all the stuff. Okay, that's probably another large deposit. There we go. So it won't let me get anything over here. I don't know why. That's fine. That'll help with the situation, though. There we go. Okay. So, not exactly what I was hoping for. I was hoping I could stand pretty close to the ship. So that I could just like pop into the ship, regain energy, and send out actually what I was hoping for. So I was hoping I could send out the drone from the ship. I can't. I can send out the drone from the base, but not the ship. Which, I mean, I could always just like build a secondary base down here and then just run the drone from that. That's an option. Not sure it's an option I want to take, but it's definitely an option. I have a question mostly for me. If I come here and send out the drone, can we then, yes, start getting sulfur ore? Well, that's weird. There's like a chunk of sulfur in there. Okay. Why is there like a huge chunk of sulfur in there? Is that a sulfur deposit or? No, it was just like 3 of them together. Okay. We're gonna need this later. We're gonna need sulfur later on. There is sulfur deposits, but they're on another island, so we can't get to them at first. We have to be able to power up the craft first. The spaceship. We have to be able to power the spaceship up first. So I will work on that. Uh-oh. I see it. It's coming. We got a couple hours though, so we're fine. Well, minutes. But still. Should I head home before we get the first tsunami? Well, I should definitely get into the spaceship. Either way. So let's go home with what we've got. We've got a pretty good bounty of stuff. That should be at least enough to get us a longer sprint as well, because we did just unlock the battery. So that should give us at least enough to get a longer sprint going. / mining capabilities. And actually they do stack, so like I can put 2 batteries on and get a ton of sprint capabilities, or I can put 2 oxygen on and get more air. Right? So like they do stack, because like in Planet Crafter they did not stack. You had to choose what you wanted. I know I'm supposed to be heading home, and I am. I'm just going the long way. So like in things like Planet Crafter and Subnautica, they don't stack, but here they absolutely do. So like you could say, forget mining and sprint power, let's go all in on air and put on 3 oxygen tanks and be out for like ever. Or you could say, forget oxygen and use sprint. Yeah, they work either way. So that's fun. I want to say that's Forza, but it's more like Forza. Hi there, how you doing, For? Sorry, it's control click to collect everything in one shot. I remember. I'm not getting Planet Crafter, you are. Shush. But hey, 4, how's life going? I did need food, though. We are running very critically low on food. In fact, woohoo! Alright, so let's put oxygen capsules and food on. You know, I don't know why I'm manually sorting. Sort for me, please. Thank you. Okay, cool. So, I mean, it's my first time doing a full playthrough of it. I played the demo, so I know exactly what's happening on the water planet. And while I was bored yesterday and finishing off vacation week, I played a little bit more of Waterworld. So I'm familiar with this particular planet, but after that, nope. After that, nope. Not a clue. I'm going to be surprised with the rest of them. So yeah, since I played the demo, I'm a little bit familiar. Like, I know the mechanics, but that's not going to stop me from being Planet Craftered or Subnautica'd, where I'm going to try to do, okay, shift and click. Oh, no, wait, no, that's Subnautica. All right, that's for Planet Crafter. But I do happen to know we've got a tsunami incoming. So, and I also happen to know for this one, they haven't given it to me yet because we haven't had the first tsunami. But after the first tsunami, they will give you a task of diverting the moon to stop the tsunamis. So I know that much because that was like where the demo ended, was divert the moon to stop the tsunamis. And you were like, okay, I did it. And they were like, good job. You finished the demo. Enjoy. Oh, I wanted to do more. Well, then you got to buy the game. Okay, yeah, that's fair. So, I know that much. But after that, yeah. I'm not sure how this game plays out afterward. Anyway, what was I doing other than losing my brain? I don't know. Wind turbine! Wind turbine! I was trying to make a wind turbine. Probably not a smart idea, being as how we're coming up on the first, words. We're coming up on the first tsunami, so probably not my smartest idea to make a wind turbine. Because it's just going to get destroyed in the tsunami. Unless, of course, I destroy it first. Alright, and then there. So then, we put this right here. That will power our first generator, which is digging up iron. Now, we need 10 plates for our first. So give me 10, if you would, please. You did not give me 10. You gave me 9. Okay, that's fine. I am not upset by that at all. Come on. There it is. Okay. Cool. So... I mean, fair. This is kind of an automation game meets Minecraft meets Planet Crafter. Kind of a dealy bob. Tsunami will not destroy everything, just so you know. The tsunami coming up will destroy any of my power plants. as long as I destroy the power plant before the tsunami gets here, and they give you a warning. They'll give you a warning before it gets here. Like, you can kind of see it forming out on the horizon a little bit. But like, yeah, there he is. You can see him out here, so you can see it coming from a while off if you know what you're looking for. Now, the first time you play this game, I would not expect you to know what to look for. But yeah, that's a tsunami approaching. They'll give you plenty of warning. There'll be like a wall of water that'll hit here in about maybe 2 or 3 minutes. You'll look over here and see this huge wall of water. That's your cue to destroy anything that will get destroyed. Like, basically, only the wind turbine is going to get destroyed. Everything else will stay. My house, my any warehouses or anything we put up, that'll all be fine. It's just the wind turbine that'll get destroyed, and that's a real easy fix. Done. I got everything back from it. I mean, I can even stand out here and be perfectly fine. I don't. I like to go in my base and hide, but you can just stand out there, be perfectly fine, and the tsunami will dissipate, and then you can just put your power equipment back up. It's slightly inconvenient, but it's not the craziest thing I've ever gone through in one of these games. Yeah, you don't get washed away or anything. It's perfectly fine. Oy, ads are running, so... Yeah, it's not like super, super bad. There's also, there's different variations of gameplay mode. You can do relaxed where you don't get anything like tsunamis or planetary disasters or anything while you're playing. So there is a relaxed mode where you can play like that. There's hardcore mode where everything will probably get destroyed. I don't know. I'm not brave enough for hardcore. You're lucky I'm on normal. I'm not brave enough for that. But there's creative mode where you can just build and automate and have a good time and it doesn't really need to do anything. There's relaxed mode where you can build and not have to worry about incoming disasters. There's normal, and then there's hardcore. So it's not terrible. It takes a little getting used to. Right, I was working on... I don't know why I'm even bothering, like, only turn some of the iron ore into bars. You're going to need it all into bars. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. Is like, I'm here for storylines and to have a good time. I don't generally like to suffer for playing a game. So I don't really do like a lot of hardcore modes or Iron Man runs or anything like that. I'm here for stories. I like stories. But yeah, you can see the incoming wave is getting bigger. We've got a few more minutes. As long as I don't go too far from base, we'll be alright. Okay. So, here's what we do. I will set this up. Now this annoys me because I can never get them perfectly connected. I always had trouble with this. It should be like right here, I think. Right there. Alright. And then we go back this way a little bit. Yep, there's our warning. Wave detected. No, not G. So we'll take that down. And you can see it forming back here. So I'll take that down. We'll head in. So this is our first wave incoming. I kind of wish I had the, kind of wish I had a window to watch it from here, but we don't. That's okay. It'll take me into cinematic mode in a minute or two. And we'll see the first wave come in. Which I don't mind because this actually gives us a really good, yeah, here we go. This gives us a really good aerial view of what we're working with. See, here's our wave incoming. But this also gives us a kind of an aerial view of what we're working with on the planet a little bit. We got a smaller island over here. We've got a bigger one there. We landed on the Big Boy Island, but there's nothing else around. Yeah. Yeah, it's fun though. Looks like basalt on the back here. Cool. But yeah, that's it. That's your tsunami. Done. Yep. And now we have a new task to deviate the moon. So we've got to build all of these things to unlock the grappling rocket to deviate the moon. Once you deviate the moon, no more tsunamis. You're done. So that would be our primary goal. No more tsunamis, please. But yeah, they'll happen at a pretty regular interval until you do that. But fun though, right? Okay, and then we want to go from here. Did I get an actual straight line? Woo! I never get straight lines. Yep. So our first priority is going to be get to the moon and deviate it. Our next priority is going to be terraformation. So we want to deviate the moon and then terraform the planet. Is going to be what we need to do next. Now, I would also like, where is it? So that's conveyor belts, that's splitting the conveyor belts. We want a forge and we need to build a parts producer. Yeah, this one's still in early access, I think, so 50-50 shot on that. So it might get better, it might not, but anyway, so this is copper ore into ignite. So yeah, this will work. This is what we want. So we need to pin that. I need iron plates and cement. Not that hard. For our first setup. And then cement. Done. Probably also going to need an extra plate or two. Well, the one should do it, because I'm not going to go too far from this current one. But yeah, I don't know about Satisfactory. I have not played Satisfactory. I got this one because it was very much like Planet Crafter, which was in my top for I like this game. So I don't know much about Satisfactory. But I do like it when everything lines up nicely though. Which I know is weird. Up, we need 2 plates for that. That's not a big deal. I can do 2 plates. Actually, let's take this out. Let's take this out. We'll fix that in a second. Hang on. Let's go. Build this. right there. More or less. Let's take that out. Now, am I off? Horrendously. Does it matter? Absolutely not. Yeah, I'm a little bit off. Does it matter? No! Yes, I have completed automation. Now, thank you. Here's the next thing we want to do. I want 2 parts producers for the next round. Yeah, I know, right? I love it when like everything is like nice and neat and straight and organized, but oh, it frustrates me that I can't like snap in this right now. It's so frustrating at the moment. It'll get less frustrating as time goes on, I'm sure, but oh, that frustrates so much. Okay, we need, because I am full on inventory, I need to build this so that it can then, this is the other thing that drives me absolutely nuts, is as soon as you build, like, you build the crate gives you 9 slots. Cool. Building the crate unlocked the lockers. Okay. Cool. So then, what if I destroy the crate and say, let's build a locker now, because a locker has more storage inventory. It's like, well then why didn't you just give me the locker to begin with? Why did you have to wait until I built the crate to give me better storage? Why couldn't you just give it to me? But yeah, sure, okay, we'll say that that worked. That's not frustrating at all. Alright. There's, I don't know how it works like fully in this game. I know in Planet Crafter what it was once you reached a certain point for terraforming the planet, they would give you access to a new item. Like, you know, you get the first chest and then you reach blue sky levels and then you get the second chest kind of thing. So they would give you some time between it. But on this one, it's just like, oh, did you build the first one? Cool, you got the second one. Well, then why didn't you just start me off with the second one? Like, I'm sure there's probably a third, a fourth, or even a fifth. Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, I wasn't even paying attention. Yeah, you're right, it is. Done. I wasn't even paying attention to that, I'm gonna be honest. Thank you. Yeah, right? It highlights and is like, by the way, did you know you're dying? And I'm like, oh, no, didn't know. No clue. Wasn't paying attention. And it's like in Subnautica, you had to like find and scan and scavenge blueprints to unlock the next tiers. And I don't mind those, but like, it seems kind of weird that it's like, oh, you built the first one? Cool, here's the second one. Right immediately. It's like, well then, why did you not bother starting me off with the second one then? Why'd you even bother? Because you know I'm going to build the first one and then be like, cool, did I unlock something better? Great, I'm just going to destroy it and rebuild something better. You know that's what people are going to do. I'm out here discussing this without oxygen, so I am totally about to die. Because I am completely discussing all this without oxygen, and I really should not do that. That is a terrible habit. That is going to get me killed. Oh well, at least I don't lose my inventory when I die. One of the other stipulations I have when I play these kinds of games is I refuse to lose my inventory when upon death, because I will die a lot. So, alright, what were we doing? I was trying to build the parts producer up next, is what we were doing. To do that, I need 3 of these guys, which means 9 plates and 15 rods. We could do that easy. Right? Like, that can be done easy. This one's also kind of slow on the crafting system. Like, the bigger the parts that you get, the more time manual crafting takes, which I think is because they want you to work on automation more than they want you to do manual. So, I don't know. It's like, I think they want you to do automation more than manual, but that's still kind of frustrating as you get higher up there. We need 15 of these. That'll work. Okay, and then 3 beams. Cement is easy. Circuit boards. We need copper for that. Copper and silica shouldn't be that hard, though. How many copper plates do we need? Okay, just 2 and 2 silica. Yeah, not a big problem. Gears, however. Gears are going to be a fun one. Yeah. Yeah. I get you. But, like, I've got to start, like, you've got to start doing at least a little bit of handcrafting so you can get some of the bigger machines built so that you can then automate. It's just kind of frustrating that they don't give me tier 2 off the bat. They're just like, okay, here's tier 1. Oh, you built it, here's tier 2. That's the one that really frustrates me more than anything, I think. Okay. We need 3, 6, 9, 12. We need 12 rods. Not even paying attention. We should be good. Yep. Okay. And then for this, we need 2 circuit boards. That was not what I was looking for. This is. You know, we might as well just turn all of this into... We might as well just process all of this down. Right? Because we're going to have to eventually anyway, so we might as well just process all of that down. So, tier 1 and tier 2 is, they give you, like, the trunk first, right? And that holds 9 items. Let me open up the crafting menu to talk about this. So, like, they'll give you the trunk first, and it stores 9 items. This is storage T1, or tier 1. And then they give you a locker, which is usually a tier 2. Right? They do it with the miners as well. Miner is usually T1 and then T2 or advanced. So, you know, tier 1 is just bottom level, tier 2 is top level, tier 3, tier 4, all of that. So the higher the tier, the more advanced the machinery. In general, for most of these kinds of games. But I did just finish Planet Crafter, and that's how Planet Crafter does it too. So they're like, oh, locker tier 1, locker T2, locker T3. And it's like, okay, whatever. But yeah, so I've got, so I build a T1 miner, and they're like, great, you built it. Have a T2. Just instantly like that. And it's like, well, why did I even bother with this one then? Why not just, okay. I'm sure that they're going to give me a more advanced one, though. Because why else would they give me an osmium drill head? If it's not like, oh, in order to build a tier 3 miner, you have to have an osmium drill head to do a tier 3. Yeah. It's kind of weird that it's like you build T1, it automatically unlocks T2. But it's like, I know there's got to be a T3, which did not unlock when I built T2. Because we have an osmium drill head. So there's got to be like a T3 or a T4 that's going to be like, oh, well, in order to build this, you have to have an osmium drill head or 2 or whatever. And it's like, well, I mean, if you're going to do that, that's fine. Unlock the parts for a T2. And then tell me, oh, okay, well, now you've got to get all the parts for the T2. But don't like auto unlock T2. Then just start me on T2. Anyway, I'm done. I'll stop. I promise. I'm probably not done. I'll probably get on another rant on another day. Like, that's probably a thing, is I will probably... No, I don't think there's a visual tech tree. There might be if you go into... If you go into creative mode, you'll be able to see everything that they have available from the start. But I don't think there's a visual tech tree. Because like the closest I get to a visible tech tree right now is the build menu. But I don't think that's a thing. Yeah. So they don't like give you, you just kind of have to guess what's coming up next. Oh, here's the other closest thing that I can get to a visual tech tree. Is if you go into these tasks. So like right now we're at parts producer. As soon as I build the parts producer, it'll give me the refiner. As soon as I have the refiner, I can start making basalt concrete. Once I pick up my first basalt concrete, it'll give me a container T2, right? Or, well, I have a container T2 because I built the T1. But it's like, once you get that, then you'll get the next thing. This is as close as you'll get to visual text trees. Is like looking at your next objectives and your terraformations and all that. So like, next objective, create an energy cell to power your spaceship. For that, we're going to need to build the refiner, and then they'll give me an energy cell. Supposedly. Right? Or you have to discover this to unlock, like, hey look, there's a high capacity O2 tank. That would be nice. But we have to build a material analyzer, which I have no clue how to do. Because we don't even know what a microscope is yet. I have the sulfur ore, that's fine. But like, I don't even know what a microscope is. Never seen it before. But like, once I unlock these, then we can get the high capacity tank, the steamroller, the wheel, all that kind of stuff can get unlocked. So that's as close as you're going to get to a tech tree. Did not know ruby ore existed. Now I do. Now I'm interested. Hello! I knew about basalt. I knew about uranium. But like, that's as close as you're going to get to tech trees. It doesn't really give you anything else other than that. This is the next closest that you can get is the crafting guide. But it's only going to show you stuff that you've already discovered. It does show you that there's a lot. Like, I can assume this is a T3 and a T4 miner, but I don't know. It might be something else. We do have solar panels, and once I build my first solar panel, we'll get the second solar panel. But yeah, it's interesting. I will attribute some of the annoying glitches in this to the fact that it is it's still in early access. So I'll attribute a lot of the annoying glitches to, well, it is early access, so you get what you get. But I don't know. Yeah, it's like, well, at least there's a lot to discover, right? So there is always that. That's a sunny way of looking at it. Alright, I don't need the base compartment. I don't know why you keep insisting I need to have that there. We have that. I would like to do the T2 container instead of the T1. We're going to need that. And the other thing that I don't like is that whenever you click on something to craft it, it will auto post it down here. Which is helpful for some things, but less helpful for others. Like, yeah, okay, having the belts down here, great help. Massive help. Having the base compartments down there, less of a help. I'm not gonna really need a lot of base compartments right now. I'm not like, if I were to build a trash can, it would put trash can on 7, and it's like I don't really need the trash can there. Can I choose what goes down there rather than you just auto putting things down there? Is there like a button I can press? It's like, okay, I want to keybind this to here. Ooh, we do need an analysis radar. Not gonna lie, that would be nice. Well, we could get a kitchen, interior door. All of that's nice. I haven't unlocked the beds yet, though. But a kitchen would be nice. Not useful, but decorative. I'm sorry. All right. I'm getting distracted, which is something that I do very easily. Distraction is my thing. Okay, so we're also going to need a belt splitter for this. Actually. I need the one that takes one and splits it out into 2. So single input to a double output. Because there's one that, yeah, does 2 inputs into 1 output. And this one does 2 outputs and 1 input. See? This is why I should not get distracted by discussing this stuff without oxygen. Because I'm terrible at that, you know. Yeah, well, I mean, you can manually replace it with stuff, but, like, in order to manually replace it, like, I have to go down here and say, I don't want this anymore. Remove it. Now I can replace it by pulling up, say, this door and putting the door in there. And it's like, I don't want to do that constantly. So it's just a minor inconvenience. It's not a major inconvenience. It's a minor inconvenience. And I think it would be really easy to patch out or fix up, or I can just learn to live. It's a minor inconvenience. It's not the worst. I have seen much worse. We're going to need more plates, which should not be a surprise. More plates, please. I don't know why I did 30 of them, but we'll stop there. Okay. So yeah, it's a minor thing. Yeah, dragging an item down into the bar doesn't fix it. I thought so too, but all that does is just like scroll your stuff around. I think it's here. Okay. I think that's what we want, and then we go here and into there. That is not straight. Close enough, I'll take it. Alright, now, here's what we're going to do from there. We need a couple of circuit boards, right? We're going to need a minimum of 4 circuit boards. We're also going to need more iron beams and more concrete. So, yeah. And then we say 4 circuit boards. But yeah, so I've never really done the automation game, so this should be interesting, to say the least. Alright, and then we are going to need another 15 of these guys, which should not be that big a deal. Because I do love the range on the tools, though. I don't have to get close to things. I just have to do this. Boom. Done. So, I mean, it's a bit of a slow start, but once we get the beginnings of automation in place. I don't know why I said 50, but okay, here we go. That'll work. Okay. Do I have 6 or 9? I only had 6. We need another 3 of those. That'll do. There. Okay. And then we are going to need 8 of those. How many bars? Oh, that's over here. We need 3 bars. We're going to need another 3 of those, so that's 9 bars. So that's 8 bars. Is that what I need? 6, 7, 8. Yeah. There we go. That should get us what we want. Alright, cool. So then, I'm going to start with 7. Right there. Okay. And then right there. Yeah? And then we are out of iron plates, so I can't connect them, but that's okay. That's okay. We'll get that sorted. Now, I think I have to build the T2 container before it'll get me a warehouse, which I'm going to want the warehouse more than anything. So, I'm going to start with that. All right. What was I doing other than losing my mind? Plates. Plates. We want iron plates so that we can do conveyor belts. So that we can go from 1 to 2. And it is not straight, and that does not annoy me at all. Don't know what you're talking about. Absolutely not frustrated. That will go iron rods. This one we will say iron plates. Cool? Cool. Now, the next up, we want to do this. Okay. I should pin that, probably should pin that inside so I don't run out of oxygen. Am I going to do that? No. Should I do it? Uh-huh. Okay. So, if we needed 15, 16, we're going to need 20 iron rods. All right. Don't know why I told it to make 50, but here we are. Don't think we're going to get 50 out of it anyway. Don't think I have quite that many. That is still workbench. Wanted locker. Thank you. Okay. Question mostly for me. Come here. Here. No, seriously, hold that. Thank you. Did I need to do that? No. But I did it. Okay. So that should be more than enough there. Okay. So then, we just need some... I love that I can access the workbench from here. That's just special. Really don't need to do that, though. Okay. That gets us what we need. Yes. Perfectly, too. Okay, great. I should check and see how close we are to our next tsunami. Right? Like, that is a thing I should do. I'm not sure. I don't know. I mean, that would be a good thing to test, though. Science. It's pretty far out. Okay, cool. For science, can we build with the drone? I should probably do this from inside. Nope. Oh, no, it will. Oh, you're a genius. It'll let me do it with the drone. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, it can. I am going to go down here, though, because, well, we'll try it with the drone, see if the drone will give me a little bit better, like, view of what we're doing. We want this guy, please. Oh, the drone might give me a better view of what we're doing and how to line things up. You're a genius! I didn't even think of that. Oh. So much better, right? Done. Ah, alright. Yeah. That's what I want. You are just the smartest thing ever. See, I don't really play automation games. So, yeah. Thanks! That's a good tip, though. Yeah, use the drone to build. That's much better. And then you get the nice straight belts so that it's not all wonky and running everywhere. Oh, that's so good. Okay. So, yeah. Now we've got more of a look to what we want. There we go. Now that we have that, did you give me what I want? Why? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm grateful for it. I should be grateful for it. We're gonna want this, right? I am super gonna want this. But also, why did I have to build the T2 storage locker to get the T1 warehouse? What was the point? But okay, sure, nope, that's fine. We can do that. I would love me a nice warehouse. Let's just take that out and say we're going to put the warehouse in, and there we go. See, that's helpful. I don't know why I had to build the T2 storage unit first, but hey, here we are. At least we got the warehouse and I know what we need. The warehouse does a lot more, holds a lot more stuff, but like, here's the fun bit. If I unlock a T2 warehouse, the T2 warehouse will increase the size of stacks. So like right now I can have a max size of 20, right? But if I were to unlock the T2 warehouse, which you will unlock right after you put down T1, it will give you, as soon as you build a T2 warehouse, it'll give you a 30 stack. And then every T2 warehouse you build after that gives you an extra stack bonus. So you can build like 3 warehouses and get a 50 stack kind of thing, which is really helpful. And also it stores more in the long run. Also, I can connect this to 5 different belts. So we can have 5 different items, or 4 different items, 4 or 5, one of those. So we can have 4 or 5 different items stored in one warehouse. So it's really, they're really, really, really helpful. But I have to build one before the other. Also, we need a T2 warehouse to deviate the moon. Right? We also need a rocket. So we need the T2 warehouse to unlock the rocket launcher. We need the rocket launcher to unlock the grappling rocket. So this is all part of deviating the moon, which we have to do to avoid another annoying wave. I'm not going to avoid another one. It'll come. But yeah, so there's a lot of good things that come with it. But yep, there it is. See? Told you it would come. There it is. It's forming out in the distance now. We've got a good 20-ish minutes or so, maybe 5 or 10 minutes. Well, I shouldn't say 20-ish minutes. We've got a good, 10 minutes or so before it gets here, though. So we're good. We've got some time. But yeah, it is coming out, coming along. Told you they were going to come in pretty regular intervals. So now that we have that set up, we can set up a T1 warehouse instead of this storage house, which is fine. But then we're also going to need to tap, to do the exact same setup, to tap the copper. And my plan is to have the copper and the iron connect to the same warehouse. Because there's 4 or 5 slots. I think there's 4 slots. Let me see you. 5 slots. So there's 5 slots. So we do copper and iron connected to the same warehouse, and then maybe we can tap that rock area for concrete. And we can get concrete. Yeah, I agree with you. It's it's kind of weird that it only destroys the wind turbines. It only destroys the wind turbines, anything that provides power. So wind turbines, solar panels, all of that will get destroyed by the wave. But that's it. Nothing else. And it's kind of weird. I'm with you that it's kind of weird that it only destroys the power supplying units. But I'm not gonna fuss. I don't play games for realism. I play games for escapism and fun stories. So if you're going to be like, ooh, it only destroyed this, that's not realistic, I'm going to be like, well, I don't care. I don't care if it's not realistic. It saves me a ton of time and effort, man. I don't care. Alright, we need more food. We need more food. I do need to do that. Give me 20, even though I don't think we'll have enough for 20. Yep. Yeah, that's the other benefit. Is I won't have to be holding something in my inventory anymore. If I wanted to make iron rods right now, I would have to be holding metal ingots. Once I build the warehouse, I won't have to do that. I'll just be like, oh, okay, I need some iron rods. Cool, done. And you'll just make them, or you just go over here and be like, all right, for the next thing we need this. So it would be nice to have that up and running. So yeah, the warehouses are super nice. I love it when they do those kinds of things. Yeah, the warehouses are super nice. You really want warehouses. They save you a lot of trouble. But we need cables and glass. What do I have in the locker for glass? We have 38. We might have enough. Depends. How much is it taking for that? Just one? Oh. We'll be fine on the glass. We'll be fine on iron plates. We'll be fine on glass. Cement is just so easy. I know I haven't tapped the rocks to start making cement yet, but cement is ridiculously easy. all you have to do to get rocks is point your mining tool at the ground and pull the trigger. And you'll have like 400 rocks in a second. It's ridiculously easy. Right? Cable is going to be the hard one. I wanted the locker, please. Thank you. Yeah, cable's going to be the hard bit. I really should probably get at least a T2 miner going. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, cool. Back inside. You can stand outside and get hit by the wave, and it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. I can also skip the wave hit if I want by just holding space. I just don't generally do it. Yeah, I mean, I assume so in automation games, because that's the whole point of the game, is to automate. But what was I looking for, right? I was looking for the T2 miner. We're going to pin that instead. Okay. Here we go. I rarely ever do, because I just like watching the wave hit. I don't know, I'm weird that way. But yeah, we got our first little automation. Next thing we got to do is we've got to hit that copper node. There's sulfur and all that over on the... I know, right? So dramatic. There's a sulfur over here on the little guy. I know that. So we've got to hit the sulfur up next. Right? But there we go. We have been completely covered in water. Question. To do that, I would just need beams and beans. Yeah, I'd need beans and cobalt for that. Ah. And I love that I can just like hit this from here and be like, yeah, give me that. Give me this. Thank you. And then we're gonna come in here. Give me a couple of beams and some cobalt. And we are going to change and upgrade, since I demolished it anyway, from that to this guy. And since we're here, not enough what? Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. Whatever. Because the solar panel will actually give you a lot more. 'Cause like the wind turbine give you 7 watts a minute. The solar panel gives you somewhere between 5 and 24, depending on where you place it. So the solar panel will give us a lot more power, which we're going to need. All right, so we need cement. Cement should not be an issue. If I can open up my locker, please. Don't know why I have not done this already, but let's just go ahead and pulverize all of the rocks into cement. Yeah, it does have a day and night cycle. Got a pretty skybox too for the night cycle. Yeah, it does have a day and night cycle, so you get a really nice skybox at night. I like that. That's fun when you get a nice nighttime skybox. We do need more rods though. Let's grab this. Okay. We are going to need more rods because I would like 2 things. Number 1, I would like one of that. Number 2, I would like 4 of those. Thank you. And then I would like another of those. Thank you! Now, let's set up. I keep forgetting I can use the drone to do this, which makes life a lot easier on me because then I can actually see what we want to do. We're going to set up the drone and put that right there. So that will get us the first thing that we want. Next up, we're going to want a forge. Oh, I can just build that right now. Sweet. Yes. And then we don't have what I need for that. Can I just grab it from here? Yes. Why can't I place that there? Oh, fine. I should be able to place that there. I see no reason why you won't let me place that there. Okay, now can we try this again? And not perfectly straight, but I'll take it. Yep. Okay, cool. So we're going to do the same thing eventually. Yeah, I think so. Anyway, I don't know. Right now it's only producing 5 watts, so it'll produce more in the morning. So you're right about that. It doesn't work like full at night, but yeah. We don't need a whole lot right now anyway, so it's doing fine. I do kind of like, one of the things that Planet Crafter had over this is I could build a screen in Planet Crafter where I could just see how much power outage or power that I had and how much my machines were producing and everything like that. So I don't like that in order to find out if I've got full power, I have to actually come over to my machines and take a look. That I don't necessarily care for, but well, you live with what you get. So let me take a T1 warehouse here. Glass panes, easy, we've got it. Cement, easy as all get out. I mean, I know I'm out of it right now, but like, really. Not for long. Let my little guy recharge. And you can just do this. Done. Cement, easy as all get out. Now I have like, what, 65 rocks? And we can have cement done real quick, real easy. Not even an issue. I know, right? That's a big hole behind the base. Oh, we needed cement anyway. No, it's just how the land goes. I mean, it helps because it allows you to terraform the land, right? For like later when you want to build your base, it's like, oh, we need to flatten out the land to build the base. Well, there you go. Land is flat. What else do you want? But for now, I just kind of want some cement. I think there might also be, if there isn't, they should patch it in where there's like a digging mechanic. Where like you build a, 'cause I don't know if there is or not. I haven't played it that long to know whether or not this works. But like, I would love to see them have like a digging mechanic where you build a, you build like an analysis radar or something like that. And it tells you, oh, there's a sulfur node 400 feet below you. And it's like, well, guess I better start digging. I do have to build an analysis radar eventually. Right now it doesn't do that, but it will highlight, like, you see up on my compass up here where we have like this blue and beige and all that, that's telling me where these various nodes are. Like we have a cobalt and a quartz node right next door, which I knew about. That's why I settled here. So we have a cobalt and a quartz node right there. And it's pointing us to those specific nodes. So it's like, oh, that's your quartz node, that's your cobalt. If I build the analysis radar, I will get that for the entire planet. And it'll also show, because like right now it's only showing nodes that I have looked at and discovered. Right? But like once you build the analysis radar, it fills out and analyzes everything on this particular island, and you'll have to build one for each island, but you know. I would like to see that done for, you know, like, oh, hey, there's this node under your feet. Go find it. Kind of thing. Would be fun. It doesn't do that for under your feet so far that I know of. But it would be fun if they did, though. That would be a load of fun if they did that. Anyway, alright. So the iron plates are not a problem. Let's grab some of you guys. Because we are going to need to make at least 20 copper wire. Okay, we have plenty. 20 copper wire. Done. Yeah, well, I'm assuming the resource nodes are infinite too. So far, I've only played like maybe 8 hours yesterday when I was offline. And I played the demo. And in the time it took me to complete the demo and the time it took me to play yesterday, the resource nodes did not dry up. So you and I have the same information where that's concerned. I think. I don't know for sure though. You got me. Alright. So here's what we're going to do. I am going to head home. I am going to empty my inventory of anything I don't need. With the exception of food, because I am about to die. That is not the locker. That is the locker. Okay, cool. So let's just empty out everything. We will keep this. I will need that. We will need those two. I will need just 3 of those. Thank you. And we will need that. Okay. So that's what we are going to need. Now the reason why I emptied my inventory to do that was so that we could come here to the conveyor belt, to the storage unit, and do that. See? That's why you empty your inventory first. Because now there's a bunch of stuff on the ground. That is still the that is still the workbench. That is still the workbench. That is the locker. Thank you. Okay. So now I can empty again and see how much we can pick up. There we go. Cool. I'll take it. Now, that's another iron deposit. Let's come up here. Let's go hog wild. And say, give me, because you just reminded me that I could do this, so let's try this. And then let's say, build it from here. I feel like this is probably a good spot to build it. Now, it's going to finish building, and then it's going to give me a T2 warehouse. I'll check it out. I don't think we're going to be able to build the T2 warehouse right away. But, oh Lord, do I want to. No, we still not done building that one yet? Okay, I might need basalt first, which, that's fine. Okay. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. Destroy that. Destroy that. Give me that. Don't know why you started doing that, but okay. Oh. Sometimes my mouse just does not cooperate with me. I blame that on some of the buttons being a little sticky. There we go. So that'll do for those. Now, real quick. Actually, this frustrates me because these need to go down here. Alright, and we're going to put the rest of this on 5, I think. So that helps out, because that also means, because like right now I had way too many iron rods and not enough steel plates. Yeah. Now we have plates and rods forever. There we go. So let's go put these back into the warehouse. I am going to put these on 5 though, because I don't have anything that's going to go into 5 yet. But okay. But see, now the next time I want to make beams, boom, I can just make them from right here because we have all the plates and all the rods that we need. Done. I don't even have to worry about it. So that's a lot of fun. But anyway. Brains. I had them and they were working and then they just stopped. Okay, now what are we looking for? We need some parts producers because we need to do the same thing for copper. We're going to need copper plates and wire, right? Yeah, we're going to need copper plates and copper wire, both out of Ignatz. So we're going to need to do the same thing for copper, which means we need those 4 iron beams that I put in there. We're going to need those back. We're going to need the 13 cement. Circuit boards. Oh boy. We are out of silica at the moment. Oh yeah, we're going to automate cement. Yeah, we're going to automate cement eventually. That is what the large... It's down here. It's down here. So that is what we're going to tap for cement. Eventually, what we want to do is I want to put up a thing for cement, or put up a miner here. And then we're going to need to put up a water pump out on the coast. The water pumps can only go to the coast. And then we're going to have to move a pipe from the water pump up to the parts, up to, what is it called for that? Up to the refiner. Because the refiner needs a water pipe. So we're going to have to do it for concrete, and we're going to have to do it for the basalt, which is actually over the hill here. So we're going to need regular concrete, and we're going to need basalt concrete, and they're both going to need to be done. We're also going to need to build a greenhouse eventually. Eventually would be sooner rather than later. Yeah, we're going to need a lot of stuff. It's going to take me a little while to get up to where we need to be. But can you blame me for wanting the top stuff faster? I mean, really. Okay. Let's pull these guys back out. Alright, so we're going to start with copper. Then we're going to move to... Do we want to start with copper, or do we want... I think we want to put a miner over here on quartz, actually. I just need a couple of gears, and I can do that. Which is great. That's what we need. Not a big deal. That'll work. Okay. So let's go put a miner up on quartz. Okay. So quartz is good for silica, and the other one that we're going to want over here is cobalt. That's good for concentrated cobalt. You know what? We're just going to put a second warehouse up here-ish, I think. And we will connect the quartz and the cobalt to it. So let's go. Quartz here. And then I can go inside. Do another couple of... Here we go. There we go. Okay. Do another couple of those. Since we're here, we might as well, right? Give me another refinery there. And can I hit from here? Nope, too far out. I was hoping. All right. There. Now we should be able to hit. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Nope. Glitched out. There we go. Okay, there we go. There we go. Should be able to hit from here. Should be able to build another one. You know what? I kind of want to go hog wild. It's not connecting in here, is it? Is there any reason why it's not connecting in here, or what about if we connect it here? No, okay. It's just that I'm not close enough, or that the machine just isn't working the way I want it to. Okay. So here's going to be the plan for concrete, I think. I think what we're going to do, since both the concrete and the, here. Since both the concrete and the greenhouse are going to require water, I think it's smarter to put them on a separate warehouse out this way, right? So we can have the concrete and the greenhouse here. The greenhouse will produce organic material, which is going to be useful for creating rubber. We're going to need that. We're going to need a lot of that. So we're going to want to connect both of them into a water pipe. So the closer we can get those to the coast, the better. But let's start that working, and let's come in here and get some air before I die, because that's a thing. So yeah, so see, now the solar panels are producing 24 each. So they produce 5 at night and 24 during the day. I need to check on exactly how far away the wave is. Oh, we're good. Yeah, we're good. I keep forgetting that's a thing. We got to check on the wave. So the other thing we've got to do is we've got to keep thinking I see it out in the distance here whenever I kind of turn away from the screen, but I don't. So the other thing we've got to do is we've got to tap basalt. There is a basalt quarry over here. There's a basalt quarry somewhere over here, I think. Or no, it's over here, because this is where the ship lands. So there's basalt over here. And we're going to need that, too. And I think that's what's going to unlock the warehouse T2, which is fine. We need the warehouse T2 anyway. So we're going to have to do that in a minute. But first, air. And actually, second after air, I'm going to have to give you guys the break video real fast. So I will be right back in just a minute. Enjoy a minute or two with K9. Working on that. Are you trying to help?
Yeah. Chomping that snow. Running that snow. Yeah.
Poor thing, it's up to her belly.
Yeah. Seems like she's having a ball.
She loves the deep snow. She absolutely loves the deep snow.
It's like, I don't know where to go. I'll just keep running.
I mean, like, she kind of hates it when it's just like, you know, a little bit of snow. But when it's deep like this, oh, she loves it. Oh, you better come back up. Okay, there we go. Whew. Yeah, K9 is my boxer terrier mutt that's got the world's biggest pit bull smile, so she's probably a little bit of pity in there. And she's got some hidden spots on her legs. When her white fur gets wet, you can see spots under it. So we're also sure she's a little bit Dalmatian. But she's my big sweetie. Anyway, all right. Where are I am unmuted, right? Yes, yes. Okay. Okay, I'm not crazy. Okay, I am crazy. Whole nother issue. All right, we were looking for. We need cement, which I am working on. We need gears, which are easy enough to get. And we need circuit boards. So, for the circuit boards, that is still the warehouse. That is still the warehouse. I wanted to come down here. That's the rocks. I wanted the miner. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Alright, so that will get us the cement that we need to start building stuff. For now. Excuse me, guys. Excuse me. Pardon me. Coming through. Alright, so this will get us the copper that we need to start building stuff. And you will get us the quartz. Alright, cool. Not ready really for cobalt, but we're getting closer to needing cobalt. Okay, so silica. I need a ton of silica for circuit boards. I'm sitting there being like, make me 100 of them, and we don't even have enough for 100. But, you know, that's life. Okay. Silica, we've got. Next up, we will need concrete. Okay, here we go. So if you hold down shift and click, it goes up by increments of 10 instead of like 1 or 2. So that's helpful if you're ever going to make big batches like I am. And then we are going to need, we're going to need more like 8 gears for now, but we'll start with that. Okay. Right, we need copper plates is the next thing we need. We're gonna start with doing a couple of them. Okay, that should be enough to get me started. All right. We need another iron. We need 2 more iron beams, actually. Which is not a big deal. Done! I don't even have to go fishing for them. We have them. They're there. It's so nice. I don't have to get all upset about it. I do need a splitter, though. I forgot that we needed that bit. Give me the build menu. We need this one. Okay. Gonna need to build another. Oh. I'm gonna have to start calling him George. I'm gonna have to name the drone George, just because I have to use the G key to activate him. George the drone. Do I have to? No. Am I going to? Absolutely. Any reason? No. I'm just a goof. There we go. That will connect those into there. Now, real quick. Right, I'm gonna have to start calling him George, just because he's bound to the G key. His name is George now. Let's give me 1 more circuit board, and then let's send George out, so that I don't have to go. Because that would make my life easier. Now, Hello, George. Now, here's what you're going to do. You are going to give me 2 number 7s, please. There. And there, they might have to go a little further out, actually. We'll see. No? Okay, cool. Come on. There we go. Alright, so, and then George will go... Oh, I don't like the swirly, but okay. See, that's why I don't like the swirly, but... it fits, it fits. Right? Oh, perfect! I was going to be like, dang it, I'm going to have to empty out row 5. No, row 5 is already empty. Perfect! Done. Okay, great. So that leaves row 3 empty, but that's fine. It's whatever. Alright, you are going to produce cable. You are going to produce plates. Ha ha ha! Done! Alright, so that gets our first warehouse full of copper and iron operational, which is good. That's what we needed. Next up, we're going to do another warehouse here for basalt and quartz. Right now, I'm not sure there's much more we can do. Actually, do I want to do basalt and quartz next? Or do we want to do concrete and rubber? Oh. Both are excellent questions. You're kidding me. We're already full on... No, we're not even started on that. It's going to be like, we're already full on wire? You're insane. No, we haven't even started. Why are you not collecting wire? Did I do a bad? Why are you not collecting wire? Okay. Fine. Since I'm inside and not dying of anything crazy, right? It's like, that's the question though, is what do I need more of currently? And the answer is, I don't really know, honestly. Give me a number 7 if you would, please. Thank you. And we'll go hog wild and put number 7 there. Give me a number 8, please. Thank you. Not what I wanted. Give me a number 8, please. Thank you. Okay, much better. Much, much better. Also, let's put those away. Thank you. And then, for no other reason than I can, let's put those in there. Cool. Okay. So that's a good question, is what do we need more of? Yeah. You kind of have to just embrace the belt spaghetti at some point. Oh, right, you need to be reset. Whoopsies. I was wondering why this one wasn't working. I forgot it needed to be reset. Okay. So now it's working perfectly. All right, that's what we want. Now, I don't know why I'm flying back. I don't need to do that. Okay, for our next run, this is good at crafting 2 parts into the selected recipe. I have never built an assembly machine, so that's going to be a new experience. We're going to need the refiner. I had it pinned and then I unpinned it. For what reason? I don't know. I just did. Okay, well, for the refiner, we're going to need filters. Radiator's going to require rubber, which we can make rubber with the grower here that we have. So we can make our first 1 or 2 there. Beams are not a big deal. You want me to build a water pump, right? Yeah, again, we're going to need more rotors. Rotors are going to require rubber belts. Rubber belts are going to require rubber. Okay. Let's say we go hog wild and we set up concrete and rubber first, since it's going to be far enough away. Speaking of being far enough away, how bad off are we? That's fine. Okay. I keep checking for the wave. Okay, so we start with building the water guy. Here. We start with building you down at the one place. Now to do that, I am going to need a couple of things. Number 1, we are going to need food. Number 2, we are going to need organics. Number 3, we are going to take the organics and turn it into rubber. Done. Now, we are going to take said rubber and turn it into rubber belts. Then we're going to take that and say, we were very close to having everything we need. How much rubber do I have? 5. Ooh. See why we need more? We're going to need more rubber. We're going to need more rubber coming in very quickly. Okay, so let's do that. And then we need 2 rubber to make a rubber belt. Ooh. Ooh. So I need to build the water filter in order to build the... Uh-oh. That would be the music. I didn't see it on the horizon, but... Nope, that's there. That came out of nowhere. I literally just checked and was like, oh no, we're fine. No, we are not fine. We are not fine. Just so you know. Okay, now this will give us the rotor that we need. Okay, and now we can build the water pump. So the water pump will allow us to build the greenhouse. The greenhouse will allow us to get more organics. Nighttime tsunami! Woo! It does give you a really good look at, like, what exactly you're working with up here. Oh, look, the planet's sinking behind the... Oh, that's so cool. Anyway. Oh, that's a pretty planet. Ooh. I forget whether that's waxing or waning crescent. I know one of them is coming and one of them is... I think waxing is coming, waning is going. So that would be a waning crescent. I don't remember the moon phases. Anyway. I realize that it's weird that I do that, but anyway. Alright, so now that we have everything we need to build the water pump, we're going to head down to, I want to head down to this coast down here, and we'll build the water pump. Should I have probably remembered to rebuild the solar power? Yes. Did I? No. Am I going to? Eventually. See, I'm wondering if, like, every other deposit is fine but the rocks, but I could be wrong on that. Let's find out. Oh, we get to find out the hard way. Okay. Give me water pump, please. That is now on 0. Okay. So yeah, this has to be built out here. We're going to have to build a very long pipe. Okay. There we go. We saw it turning blue for a second. There we go. So then, from here, we are going to get to build a very long pipe. I'm not entirely sure I can make it back home before I die. Oh well. At least I won't lose anything in my inventory if I die. Just, you know, all of my health, which is annoying, but life happens. So there we go. Would help if I were going the correct way. I know, oxygen's low. Here, we'll put the pipe here for now. And then I'll see about heading home before death takes me. I'm not gonna make it! Just so you know, I'm not gonna make it. Death is absolutely gonna take me first. See? Told ya! Death first! Woo! At least I don't lose anything for dying, which I appreciate. You just lose a little bit of health. Annoying, but oh well. What are you gonna do? Okay, so next up we are going to need oh, I don't even bother with death counts. I know I'm probably going to be up in the hundreds by the time we're done with this game. I am terrible at staying alive. Alright. So next up we're going to need 10 organics, which is not a big deal. Glass panes, however. How much do I have in the locker? We have 8 in the locker. Okay. Give me that, please. Thank you. 8. We just need 10, so... Done. Okay. And 10 of those. Okay. Not a big problem. Done and done. Now, we're going to build a couple of things. things here. Shoo. There's my pipe over there. We're going to want the water pipe. We're also going to need to have some form of power for the water pipe, or for the water. So we'll deal with that in a minute. Let's start with okay. What are we looking at for this? Exit for it is there. That's water intake. Okay. So what if we say go this way? Okay. And then we say I want to take the water pipe, excuse me, to here-ish. Then we're going to want a pipe hub. Do we have something that's not the 4-way pipe hub? Do we have like a 2-way pipe hub? Nope, just a 4-way. Okay, that's fine. That's not frustrating or annoying or anything, you know. 4-way pipe hub, that's fine with me. Okay, cool. So that gets us the yeah, see, now they want me to start moving into terraforming. I'm not gonna move into terraforming up next. Up next, we're gonna start moving directly into stopping the waves. Yeah, I know, low oxygen. I should be able to make it home before death takes me. Should. In theory. Woo! Theory was practice. Yay! I love it when theory is practice. Haha. Okay, so that gets us, let's talk power. We're going to need power on the water line, so we're going to need to put a solar panel near the water line. We're also going to need some solar panels up here. I wonder if we can put it by the large depot and get both in one shot. Becomes a question. Ooh. We got the tier 2. Okay. So we got the tier 2 solar panel because the tier 2 solar panel is going to require refined cobalt. You want to know a fun fact? Refined cobalt is going to have to be refined through the refiner. The refiner still going to take water. So what we're going to have to do for that, since this is where our cobalt deposit is, we're going to have to connect our cobalt deposit to the nearest water source, which is pretty far away. I keep saying that I'm going to build one of these guys, and then I never do. Let's get rubber up and running first. So the refiner does cobalt, uranium, and basalt. Is the parts producer what we need, or is it the forge? It's an easy way to check that. Okay, so it's a parts producer we need for organics, which is fine. Okay. So we need the parts producer. We're going to need the conveyor belts, as always. Don't need the forge for this. No, I said don't need the forge for this. Thank you. Probably going to need the merger. Well, I'm not sure if we're actually going to need the merger. You know what? Eventually, probably. Right? Because the parts producer does... rubber, does it do like belts or anything? No, the parts producer does rubber and does rubber belts, but it doesn't create rubber. Okay, give me the forge. Forge does not create rubber. Okay. Well, then what creates... Oh, we can also have it do food cans, though. So we can have the part... We can do 2 part producers, and they can do... They can make rubber belts and food and put those into the inventory, into the warehouse. Although I don't think we need food in the warehouse. I more of need food on me. Yeah, you can split. Yeah, you just need a pipe splitter. Yeah, you just need a pipe hub. And then you can just split the water into going into multiple refiners. The only reason why I would like to do a different one from a different water source is because of how far away they are. Like, if I were to take it, I mean, I guess I could just take it up from there. It's a possibility. We could do that. However, it is only going to provide a certain amount of liters per hour, right? So you don't want to stretch the liters too low. I don't have it set up yet. We can. I should probably do that. I don't have everything we need for a T2 right now. Let's go. Can I put... Oh, I can put it on the warehouse? I didn't know I could do that. Oh, that's cool. Okay, yeah, and that activates everything around here. That does also get that. So yeah, there we go. So if we put those 2 back up, we need more power, so we're going to need another one of these guys. But yeah, you can see it's only producing a certain amount of liters per second. And like our refiners and all that are going to take a certain amount of liters per second. So you got to be careful not to overtax the system. But yeah, we can do that. I don't know why I have the analysis radar pinned. That I don't know. We are going to need the locker. No, the locker. Yeah, thank you. The locker. Yeah. All right, we're going to need the locker, and give me another 2. We'll go with another 2 of these guys. There we go. So that'll help a lot. The solar panels are doing a lot more. So yeah, like maximum, the water pump is only going to produce 100 liters per second. Max. So the good news is that our greenhouse is currently operating at this point. Yeah. Why is it saying no water? It should have plenty of water. Unless, of course, I did my pipe hub wrong. Which is a definite probability. Okay. Yeah, so... Alright. Okay. Let's put the pipe hub out this way. Then let's grab the pipes and go here. And actually, all right. I'm gonna go crazy. We're gonna take the pipes. We're gonna take them all the way down. I do have to go in and get some air first. Well, alright. You know what? Done. We've got air. Now, I can always make more of those air canisters. I just don't. Why? Could I have done that the whole time last time? Yep. Did I do it? Nope. Any particular reason? Nope. Just didn't. Alright. So let's take this down to here. Okay. I'd like to destroy that pipe. And then you gonna let me connect into here? Yes. Okay. That's a much more streamlined approach. I know, right? Who needs air? So if I start terraforming the planet, I'll get oxygen, and that'll stop me from having to run back all the time. If I were to start terraforming the planet would start producing its own oxygen, and then I wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, I am completely about to die here. But also, excuse me, thank you. If I were to say, does this need to be opened or something? No, it's working now. Must not have connected one of the pipes in. Because it's working now. That's fine. So there we go. So there's that. Now, the next thing we are going to want to do, now that we have the greenhouse operating, we are going to need another warehouse, some rubber, and I want to say at least, here's the problem that's a conveyor splitter. So here's the problem that I have is I don't know what we're using to create rubber. Unless it's maybe the parts? I don't think so. I don't know what machinery we're using to create rubber, because it's not the forge. It's not the parts producer. I should really probably riddle this out in the safety of air. You know, little things like oxygen. Oxygen's... Oh, hey, the beds are back! Yay! We can make beds! You could put beds on there. It's so cool. All right, I'm done. I'm done. I'm good. That does not excite me at all. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, sorry, I'm weird. Anyway, words that I am thinking of that are not coming to my brain because my brain just goes and dies. The refiner gets cobalt. You know what? Let's just build the refiner. Let's go crazy. Let's just build the refiner. Right? We'll go crazy, we'll build the refiner, and we'll see what comes of it. Okay. Yep, that's about what I thought. Okay. Look, I needed food. I think I needed food anyway. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm just insane. Maybe I didn't need food. Anyway. Oh, I can make the standard battery now. That's nice. I do need sulfur ore for that, which I do have in the locker. In the locker. Thank you. Thank you. And then... Oh, we need 3 cells for that. Not a problem. We need more sulfur ore. In the locker, please. Thank you. Okay. Nope. No. We wanted that in here. Thanks. Cool. And then 1 more of those. Oh, I need a circuit board. Oh. And then I need that. Done! Okay. Now, I can equip this with here. And we go up to 170 energy, which is great because that gives me a longer sprint. It also means my tool will work for longer. All kinds of stuff like that. I do need some food though. I am kind of dying. And it was definitely not vamping for a long enough time to get me more rubber. Okay. And then that should give me everything we need to make a rotor. What about filter? Yeah? Okay. And give me a 4th one. There it goes. Alright. And then we just need 4 beams. I think I just did 5 by accident, but pff, whatever. There we go. Okay. Don't need to be holding that. Don't. Oh, it dropped it. Come here. Nope. Pick that back up. Thank you. There we go. Alright, I need that. We don't need to be holding the silica at the moment. We don't need that at the moment. I will keep that on me. There we go. That's everything we need to build the refiner. Okay. So. Off we go to build our first refinery. I do have to get down here, though, in order to build it. Alright, so then, let's deploy George. And say, oh, George, give me our first refinery, please. And put it about here-ish. Also, give me a belt from there to there. Also, give me a pipe from there to there. Cool. Thank you, George. Now, what does the refinery give me? Rubber. Nope, that is cobalt. Nope, changed my mind. That is definitely cobalt. Sulfuric acid. Okay. And ceramic components. Huh. I know it also does, well, I'm pretty sure it does. Does it do cement? Or do I need another one for cement? Ooh. I have a question, mostly for the forge. Nope, we need a forge for cement. Never mind! George! Go destroy that, thank you. By the way, also George. Actually, before I send George out, let's go back. I'm dying. Yep. Yeah, we got the warehouse T2, which is good. I need that. I absolutely need that. So, for the warehouse T2, what do we need? Because this one's going to be real super nice. So yeah, this one increases the maximum stack by 10, as well as allows you to just to access everything in it from the inventory. So every single warehouse T2 I put down gives me another 10 to the maximum stack increase, which is nice. Oh, that is so nice. And it works up to 50. So, whew. I usually go till about 2 or 3-ish. Today's going to be 2 o'clock, so I'm going to be on for about another hour today. I stream every Wednesday to Sunday from about 10 a.m. Eastern or New York time to about 2 is what I usually do. Because that's my husband's schedule. And then I work on, I have another project. I'm hoping within the next year or two that I will be launching a second YouTube channel. But I've got some work that I've got to do on it first, so I've been working on that off screen. Oh, it's 7 p.m. there, so I'll be on till 8. Yeah, I'm in the Eastern time zone in America, so. So yeah, so in that case, I'll be on till 8 for your time then. And then I gotta go, because like 2 o'clock is usually, 2 or 3 o'clock is usually my husband's lunch break, and he likes to text with me on that. So I usually stop streaming for that, and then I start working on hopefully getting another YouTube channel up and running. Hopefully. We'll see. I'm working on it. But it's been a long process. But anyway, warehouse T2. So basalt concrete is going to be the trick for that. That we will need the refiner for, but basalt is not in this particular area. So what I'm going to do, rather than focus on basalt concrete, is we're going to focus on getting everything up and running in this area that we can. So like the rubber, all that kind of stuff, we'll get that running. So we want to get the forge going is what we want to get. Right? We want to say, give me the forge. Thank y'all. Well, this is the thing. I've been teaching myself Blender for a couple of years, and I'm really, really good at telling stories. So I'm hoping maybe, if everything works out and if I can get it together, I will be launching an animation channel, telling some pretty amazing stories and everything. I was hoping to launch it by the end of this year. Yeah, setbacks have happened, so it might not happen until next year. But I've been teaching myself Blender for the last 2 or 3 years. It's slow going because life. Yeah. Yep. I would have to do my own animations because we can't afford a team right now. We're making a lot of sacrifices for me to be home and have a flexible schedule to work with his. We're making a ton of sacrifices for that right now. So like, I can't afford to hire an animation crew or anything like that. So I would be doing all the animation, all the sounds, all the voice work would all be on me and my husband, at least for starting. But yeah, so it's like, it won't be an amazing animation channel, but the stories should be pretty good. I'm really good at coming up with stories. I've got 1,000 of them, and I'm really good at doing that. But like, the animation's probably going to be difficult to start with because I have to teach myself how to do all that manually. The sound design's going to be kind of rough because music is not in my forte, but hey, it'll have some really good stories if you can look past most of that for a few years. Yeah, I come from an extremely artistic line. I come from a very artistic family. But math, English, and science have always been my struggle. But oh good lord, my family is very artistic. I grew up doing all sorts of crafting, sewing. I took third in a state art competition. It was a small one though. It was only for Christian schools. So, but I did take third in the state art competition when I was a kid. So I come from a very artistic line. Art is not my problem. It's everything around it. Thank goodness Blender is just digital sculpture-y. I can do that. I just have to learn a program to do it. But after that, it's difficult. I can build a road? Really? Oh, I need basalt concrete. So yeah. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to focus on this area first, right? We're going to focus on this zone first and getting all of this, like we're going to get the refined concrete going.
Thank you for the follow. That is so cool.
Oh, that's so nice of you to follow. I appreciate that. So we're going to start with the, with getting all of this stuff set up, right? Like we've got to get the silica and all that. So we've got to get another... My brain is going a mile a minute. See, this is what happens when you're ADHD and you stream. Your brain goes, oh, I need to do this, but I also need to do that, but I also need to do this. Don't live in my brain full time. It is not a fun place to be. Anyway, all right, we wanted a forge. Forge. I wanted a forge. We're going to build a forge so that we can start building concrete, right? So for that, we need to pin the forge. We have everything we need to make a forge. All right, let's send out George to build the forge. I'm sorry. So the plan right now is to terraform all, I think it's 4 or 5 planets that they have available in Eden Crafters right now. So the plan is to do all the planets available in Eden Crafters right now, and then I do not know. We will have to figure out what I'm doing after that. All right, give me a forge, and then give me a belt. Why do you do that sometimes and not others? I am thinking it is because my scroll button might be stuck. This mouse gets stuck from time to time. There we go. Okay. So then, from the forge, right? The forge is going to get us cement. Perfect. Everything we wanted. Now... Are we doing another forge for rubber? Did we decide that? No, I think it was the refiner. No, it wasn't the refiner to get rubber either. See, I found what it was to get rubber and then I completely spaced. And now I don't know. Because... yeah. I don't know. I kind of like embrace the ADHD-ness of how I am because it works especially in like the exploration games where you're like, all right, we're going to do here, we're going to go here, we're going to do this thing. What's that over there? It's a little frustrating from time to time, but it's also just kind of fun just to watch me get distracted and wander off. Because, yeah, I do that. So we decided it was what? It was not the refiner. I just double checked that. It was not the refiner. Is it the forge? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure we just checked the forge, and the forge doesn't do... I'll quadruple check again. Yeah, no, it does coal, which is great. You know what? It said underneath it that it was in the workbench and the forge, right? So if we go over to the workbench and we say this. Produced in workbench and the parts producer. So it does work with the parts producer then. Yeah, the forge will do cement without water, but we will need the refiner for basalt concrete, right? Is going to be the thing, because we are going to need basalt concrete coming up. To divert the moon, we need... Where are you? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Fine. Rocket. Thank you. Yeah, so for the launch site, we need basalt concrete. For basalt concrete, you're gonna need the refinery and the water, which is fine. That's fine. But I got it wrong. We do not need the refinery for the cement. We need the forge. So we got the forge going. So we've got cement going. So, couple of things we will be needing. I can't build that until we get basalt concrete going, so let's focus on getting just a regular warehouse up, and then we'll upgrade it to a T2 later. We're gonna need glass, which again shouldn't be a big deal because I can do this. And we can grab all of that. And then we can come in here. And we can say, give me all the glass. Oh, not enough silica. Alright. So then we can say, give me all the silica. Thank you. And then we can say, give me all the glass. After we get all the silica. And that will be fine for the start. What we want to do is I want to get everything automated on this side, and then we'll go work on basalt. Because basalt is going to be on the other side of the cliff. It's the only place to find basalt. Currently. Okay, so that gets us everything we need there. Now give me all of the glass. Thank you. Appreciate ya. And then we should be able to just harvest cement from the machine. However, we do have rocks, so I can also just make some cement first. And that's fine. So we want to get cement and glass panes and silica and rubber and all of that into warehouses, because that's going to make my life a whole lot easier when building the next round of stuff. Yeah, 5 planets. I was hoping this would be kind of a long play. I like doing long plays on my channel more than the fast ones, just because that gives me a lot of time between... I don't have a whole lot of games that I can play on stream. We're still working on... Now, I borrow my husband's library from time to time, and he's got a lot more, but he's also got a lot of... Oh, that's a wave. That's a wave incoming. How much time do we have before it gets here? Are we... Okay, yeah, we're destroying stuff now. Save all of this. Okay. Cool. So, the other thing is, if we start with... Yep, there it is! Destroy all the power and hang out in our little hidey hole. I did get all of it, right? Yeah. Okay. Cool. We got all of it. So, the only thing that it would destroy is definitely the power stuff. Everything will be fine. So we're good with everything else we built. Oh, you know what we could use while we're waiting on the wave to come kill me? Let's grab a snack. Yeah, let's grab a snack. All right, now... For the cement for the warehouse, that's not a big deal. But what are we doing next? Ugh, bats. Right? It's like, oh, here comes the wave! See, this is why we've got to divert the moon to stop these things from happening. And that's why I put this higher on terraforming the planet. Because the first thing, they want us to terraform the planet. But, like, I'm going to have to keep destroying and rebuilding the power supplies. Is that basalt out the back? Should I check it? Probably. Question mostly for me. Do we have... Perfect. We do have the energy cell, but I do need refined cobalt. Okay. So. Yeah, it's like the more power we need to have, the more annoying it's going to be. So I know they're like, oh, you need to start terraforming the ground first. It's like, I don't think I want to terraform first. I think terraform comes next. I think first we divert the moon. Then we work on that. Now, what we need to happen here. We need a parts producer is what we need here. Not a forge. I need parts producer. For that, we just need... So we're actually going to need 2 parts producers. The question is I'm gonna need English. English is great. I'm very good at it. So the question that I really have is, am I going to need rubber moving forward, or should we just turn all of the rubber into belts? Because, like, I'm not gonna do it because we don't have the unrefined quartz, but like unrefined quartz and organic materials gives us a food pot, which gives us 30 health, versus a food can, which gets us 20 health. So, like, unrefined quartz did come back into play. I know, right? It's like, wouldn't it be easy? Well, I mean, I would say it would be easier to dislodge, to just build a dam, but you'd need a pretty high dam, considering how high the wave goes. And you'd need it to be pretty strong because of, like, how many tons of water are just being assaulted at you. So, yeah, we're going to build a grappling rocket and we're going to pull the moon away. That'll be fun. And that'll stop the giant tidal waves. That'll stop the tsunamis. And then we can move on to our next objective, which is going to be terraform. I don't know what this does. Explore the planet to find other useful resources, I guess. We do have the energy cell, but we need... I know, right? Why? Because why not? Hey. Anyway, so here's what we're gonna do then. We're gonna need a parts refiner. We're gonna need parts producers, because it did say, yeah, that this comes from the part producer, because it produced in the workbench or the parts producers. Yeah, okay. I'm not that crazy. Well, I mean, I am, but, you know, that's fine. So, do we build 3 parts producers and have one of them just produce rubber, and then have one produce rubber, which then connects to another one that does rubber belts? Or do we just produce rubber? What's the issue and why am I dying? It went beep and I didn't see the red text, so I have no idea. It's not food, it's not air. Better not be a wave, we just had one. Nope, not a wave. Low power maybe? Oh, you know what? I bet it tried to build something and it was like, oh hey, you can't build that here because I wasn't trying to build anything. Because occasionally my mouse buttons just get stuck. I have no idea what you're trying to build that will require osmium alloy and an iron beam, but how about we don't do that? Because we don't have any of that right now. So I think it's probably safer to do 3 parts producers, have one of them just produce rubber, right? Just straight rubber. And then one of them produce rubber that it then turns into belts. So we would need a parts producer. We would need conveyor splitter. Got that. So that's 7 circuit boards minimum for the rubber. Right? So that is 7 circuit boards minimum for the rubber. We're gonna need gears. 3, 6, 9, 12. 12 gears. Am I building 12? Don't know. Lost count. Wasn't paying attention. We're going to start to need to automate gears as well. Okay, that's more than enough. All right, and then I won't need to carry any iron with me, so because we would need iron plates for this guy, which we've gotten spades we're fine with. We'd need the iron beams, we've got the cement, the circuit boards we've got. We're fine there. And that'll give us, yeah, okay, so we're ready. We are ready to deploy George. Okay. George, let's go. George has not gone far enough. All right. I have to go a little bit further. Okay. George, let's go. Okay. So here's the plan. Warehouse out here, which means we're going to want to put our first, am I not close enough? Yeah, I'm still not close enough. All right. George, get out there. Okay, so we're going to want to put our first splitter. I kind of want to put it in front of the water pipe here. And then we're going to say, not that goofy. Then we're going to say, go, give me a number 8, go from there. Oh, my scroll button's stuck again. Okay. no idea what it just reset, but there we go. See, it's doing this weird thing. Okay. Not exactly the way I wanted it to go, but there we are. Alright. I have not rebuilt the solar panels yet, no. I haven't rebuilt the solar panels yet because I want to get everything connected first, because that's the way my brain does brain. It's not a very effective way to brain. But whoever said my mind worked effectively. Thank you. Alright. Nobody ever accused me of my brain working effectively. And if they have not hung out here for any more than 30 seconds. Alright, so then, from here, we're not close enough to send out George. Now we should be close enough to send out George. Alright, George, my dear, give me a number 7. There. That's not where I wanted that one, George. Can we not? Close. Thank you. Yeah, can we not? Alright, so that's our first. That's not connected, is it? Oh, whoopsies. Okay, now that's connected. Okay. And this is going to say produce rubber. Cool. Now, give me another number 7. Okay. And then I would actually kind of, no, let's keep it straight on. There. Okay. And then we're going to go 8. We're going to go there. Why did you do that? Please don't. I'm gonna go there. Why? 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 What the? Why did you have cement in there? Okay. Sure. I gotta go. Oxygen is dying. Yeah, I should probably rebuild the solar plants after I get out of here. See? I told you oxygen was dying. And we're in. Okay, and we're back out. Alright, so that gets us rubber. This one will also do rubber, and then okay. George! Here we go. And then we want an 8 that goes from the parts producer to, nope, okay, fine. Fine, give me a number 7 again. Now, give me a number 8. Go from the parts producer, no, don't do that. Go from the parts, I love sticky mouse buttons. They're just the best. From the parts producer to the parts producer. Okay. So then this. Why do you have basalt back in there? Why is there concrete in there? Why? Okay, yeah, nope, that's fine. And then that. Right? Okay, cool. And then, how are we on air? Not great, but we need a warehouse next anyway. The splitter doesn't seem to split. It is, I think. I'll check it in a second. I'll check it in a second because it looked like they were both working. But I can't check it until we can get back out there. And, you know, air. Air is nice. But I find the waves more annoying than I find the air. It might not be splitting right now because I don't have the power on. Might be the issue. But I'll take a look. Oh, Georgie. Tell me, how bad off am I here? Yeah, no, you might be right on that. It is not working. Okay, cool. So then, we might have to move this guy a little bit. I really didn't want to, but we might have to. It's not a big deal if I have to. Okay. Try that again. So that goes to the conveyor exit, and that goes to the parts producer. Why do you have basalt? Where is the random concrete coming from? What on earth? Okay. So that should be connected. Right now there's just nothing in there. I guess it's concrete, not basalt, but still it's like, where did that, why did you, how did you, who did you, okay, never mind. Never mind, we just have extra concrete lying in there. I don't know how, but okay, there we go. Cool, that's great. I'm gonna go get more oxygen and then we'll talk about setting up the warehouse for the next bit. And then the benefit of doing the rubber and the concrete warehouse is that for the next bit, I can be a lot closer to home for building. So building will be a lot easier for the next bit. Okay, cool. I don't even have to, like, go hog wild. We have everything we need. Cool. Yeah, I know, right? It just, okay. So here we go. So the next thing that we can do then is, let's say, send out George, our dear friend George. Now we're gonna want to connect. All right, give me this guy. We're gonna want to connect 1, 2, and at the very least 5 in there. Okay. So then give me a number 8 and connect that to the forge. And then give me number 1, connect that to there. Give me why are you connected over there? I don't know. Third base. Give me an 8. It's an old Abbott and Costello routine. I'm old. What can we say? Actually, Abbott and Costello is very much older than I am because I'm only in my 40s. Abbott and Costello is very much my mom's generation. But, you know, they raised me with an appreciation for the classics. Okay. That is our first setup for that area done. So we have, I was going to try and eat cement. That doesn't work. Pro tip, don't try eating cement. It's not tasty. I don't know, man. My brain just doesn't work some days. Alright, so. I don't see the wave, and considering how foggy everything is, I'm going to say we've got a good 30-ish minutes before we have to deal with another wave. So, okay, we need more beams, which is, you know, fair because I just finished doing a lot of building, so I probably used up the beams for those guys, which is fine. That's not what we wanted. This is. Five, 6. That was not 5, 6 because I bailed out too fast. Now that's 6. Okay. And then now we use the locker. And we say, give me more cobalt, please. Thank you. Right? No, yeah. Alright, well, we'll see in a second. Alright, so then we've got... And we'll put up a new... Yeah, we're going to need another one. Because we're only providing 84. So, like... This is what frustrates me with this. Is it's like next we're going to have to demolish them for the next wave. I only got one of those. I wanted 2. Thank you. Give me another one. Build another solar panel. Alright. Does it matter? No, because I'm just going to destroy them in a little bit. But here we are. Okay, so. Next up. Next up, we get to work on turning quartz into silica, silica into glass. Do we want to keep some silica off to the side? Because I feel like that might... Okay, so we're going to do the same thing with the quartz that we did with the organics, right? Where we're going to make silica, and then we're going to keep some silica, and then we're going to make another silica producer and have that turn into glass. Because I feel like we're going to need more than that. Right? We're also going to want to start like producing rods, gears, all that kind of stuff. Is going to be the next thing that we're going to want to produce before we start moving on to basalt. Now the question is, do I want to move on to basalt first? That's ahead of myself. Let's finish connecting up here. So, here's what we're going to do. I know the refiner is going to be used for cobalt. We know that. Parts producer, I think, will get us glass. Forge will get us, forge will get us quartz into silica. So we are going to need 2 forges. Parts producer, will you get us glass? Yep, parts producer get you glass. Okay. So, here's what we're going to do. Very similar thing that we did before. We are going to do a conveyor splitter into 2 forges. We can take out the miner. Put up the forge instead. Okay. So we're going to do conveyor splitter into 2 forges. One of those forges is going to go into a parts producer, and then we're going to go into a warehouse. Right? And then we are also going to need a refiner. And then we can get rid of that because we don't have any more of those capsules. I can build them, but we're going to need some time to build them. And we're going to need a water pipe. Okay. So, here is what we need. First, we need George. This will be a little bit easier because we're a little bit closer. Okay, we're also going to need some circuit boards. That is not my base. That is my warehouse. All right, so question mostly for me. We're going to need 3 circuit boards, a rotor, and 4 filters. We have a rotor and 4 filters. So we're going to need 3 circuit boards, a couple iron beams, 7 iron beams, 3 circuit boards, 7 iron beams. Right? So we only need 1 parts producer. We need 2 forges. After that, we need cement and iron plates, which we've got working, so we're fine. So 3 circuit boards, 7 iron beams. I can do that. There we go. And then 7 beams. Don't know how many, I kind of lost count. Got 6. Okay. 7 iron beams. What did, oh, I pinned the rocket launch site. When did I do that? Well, that is the ultimate goal, but not the plan. Okay. Let's begin, George, shall we? Give me a number 4. Good enough, I'll take it. Give me a number 8. And a little bit of a reposition. Cool. Give me 2 number 5s. I mean, not exactly what I had planned, but that'll work. No. Okay. Now, on one of those number 5s, we'll say this one here. Give me a number 7. We are out of cement. Cool. Alright. They're both just producing silica. Great. Okay. Can we get me a 0? No, because we're out of cement. Okay. Cool. Okay, yeah, so the belts are being a thing. Is the rubber a thing? Let's actually check belts. It's easier that way. Yeah, yeah, okay, so yeah, no, everything's working. Everything's working the way it should because we have 31 rubber right now to create rubber belts with, but we also have 21 rubber belts. So everything's working. Yeah, so the splitters are working. Everything's doing the way it should. In theory. Now, the only question I have is cement. That's the only question I have, because we should have cement filling right now, but it doesn't look like it is. Did I not connect it in? Yeah. I'm very good at I did not connect in the concrete. Okay. That is my mistake. And it is one we can remedy. Hey George. Yeah, I'm pretty good at telling stories. I've been doing that for years. And I am very good at that. Why are you not being a George? Go be a George. Thank you. Okay. Is it just not connected in? Is that your issue? What's your problem? Because you're not filling, so what's the issue there? We'll stick it on 3 instead of 5. We'll see if that works. But I appreciate the call out of good narration. I appreciate that. That is just me randomly talking because I am used to filling up the space because there's nobody here. Since there's never anybody here usually, and I like to kind of treat my streams like a podcast, because I figure most people just kind of put it on in the background and do something else. So I tend to just yammer at the wind, and I will just chat away at nothing and nobody for hours. Just because that is how my brain works, and I figured if I would just put on a stream in the background, then most people do too. Anyway, that should have fixed the issue. Should have. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, okay, there we go. All right, issue fixed. Boom. Problem resolved. Never have an issue with concrete again. Cool. Yeah, it's like, that's what people come to Twitch for more than YouTube, I think. I mean, they come to both platforms for both. But, like, if you're coming to Twitch, you're coming here to, like, throw on a long play. And move on. If you're going to YouTube, it's usually because YouTube has better VOD storage. So, like, I'm currently watching through CDog VA's Generational Welsh stream with him and Premiere 2, Pete Premiere 2, going through Wales. Because I love watching some of the IRL stuff. It gives you a really good look at the rest of the world, right? But, like, I didn't get a chance to watch it on Twitch. Those things are 12 hours long. There's no way. I didn't get a chance to watch the whole thing on Twitch, so I watched the VODs little by little on YouTube. But, like, that's the only time I'll really tune into YouTube for a long play, is if I'm looking for a VOD or something. Otherwise, you go to Twitch for a long play. Because that's where most people will sit here for, like, 4, 5, 6, 12, 10, 15, 30 hours. You know. Little things like that. But, like, yeah, the problem that I find with Twitch is, like, their VOD storage is laughably small. So I do have a YouTube archive channel that I put my my streams on. Because that's just easier. But yeah, I'll be live with Planet Crafter until I feel like we're finished with Planet Crafter, which is usually until we come to the end of the story content or all the provided content. Because I'm a bit of a story-holic. I'm a little bit of a story-holic, and by a little bit, I mean major. I love me a good story. I'll critique a bad story. I just like stories. Okay, so we need some gears for this. I am going to have to set up automation on gears. Coming up next is going to be the next thing, is we're going to have to set up like gear steel beams. Ooh, steel beams. We're going to have to set up like automation for gears, for beams, for all that kind of stuff. But let's start with getting George back out. This one should be a little bit easier though, because we're a little bit closer to home. So that should make life a little bit better. That is not the one I thought I clicked on. I have never built that before. So it'll be interesting to see what that does. Yeah. I get you on that. I usually lurk when I'm, honestly, when I'm watching or doing Twitch or YouTube or something like that, I just put something on in the background because there is so much that I have to do off stream. I've mentioned I'm working on an animation channel, so there's that. I've got a house to clean. I've got yard work to do. There is so much that you have to do. We need more glass. Okay, glass I can do. Glass is not a problem. Glass we are in fact working on. See, we're going to go here and we're going to say, make me some glass. And we will have glass in a few seconds. You know what else I can do to make me some glass? Boop. Maybe not all of it. Here, you can have that. And then I will go make some glass real quick, and then we will have glass. And then we can set up our next. I need to go in for air anyway. But yeah, it's just like, I'll mostly just lurk because I have so much that I'm working on. I'm working on learning Blender. I work on writing. I have like 7 or 8 scripts that I have on the back burner right now while I work on getting my first animation up. So I've got like writing to do. I've got animation to work on. I've got a lot of stuff that I'm currently working on at the moment. I don't know why the rocket site is still pinned. That's not what we're aiming for at the moment. All right. Oh, George! Would you build me a number 6, please? Okay. So the other fun thing about a T2 warehouse is a T2 warehouse has an entry port, and around the back it actually has exit ports. So for a T2 warehouse, we can start like storing up a bunch of stuff and then send it out to get automated, which is a load of fun, which we will be doing in a bit. Oh, you done did the thing again. I appreciate that you change elevation. That is super cool. I wish I knew what button was activating this elevational change, but I don't. If I knew what button was activating this elevational change, I would fix that. Yeah, let's just go there. This is going to be a bit different though, because for this one, we want none of those. I want a refinery. Okay. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I kind of wish I could change it so that the port for the water was on the other side of the refinery. But I can't. So here's what we do. Let's change this. To do that. Then let's go. More belt spaghetti over here. There we go. And then we can just dash inside. See? So much easier now that we're closer to base. Yeah, it didn't look like it. Again, I might be wrong on that, or we could just chalk that up to, well, it's still in beta, right? Because I do believe it's still listed as being early access. And I do appreciate that Steam has changed that. And that, like, now if it's going to be in early access, it can only be in early access for so long. I appreciate that Steam has changed that. Uh-oh. Okay. This might be the first time I get caught out here without... Yipes. I might get caught out here before the... Because if the cinematic hits, I won't be able to move. Woo! We managed to get inside. Okay. We're good. Can I get far enough back that the door will auto-close? Thank you. Appreciate you. Here we go. Now it goes into cinematic mode, and I don't think I can move at that point. So you just would have to tank the hit, but there it is! Ooh, and it's about time to end stream too. So one more wave before we end for the day, huh? Alright. So I want to get the last... I'm going to get the cobalt refiner set up first. So we're going to get the cobalt refinery set up, and then that's probably where we're going to call it for today. And tomorrow we will work on basalt. Because I kind of want to, before we go hog wild on... Ugh, we got to do it this way. Here we go. Number 3, please. Thank you. So before we go hog wild on doing a lot of... I'm doing like a lot of getting terraforming done and getting a lot of this place automated and all that. I need to get the rocket up before I do any of that. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to focus on basalt next, and that should be everything we need to get a rocket off. Once I get a rocket off and running. Okay, no, that didn't work. No, that doesn't work. Okay. Let me ask you this. If I go up here, and then give me a number 3 again, and then can we connect? No, not there, not there, not there. Can I connect into there, and then bring it down here? No. Why not? Not what I was aiming for, thank you. Yeah! There we go. Not exactly what I was hoping for, but you know, we'll take it. So there we go. So that will get us the pipes started. So like the next thing that I'm going to want to do is we're going to want to get basalt running tomorrow. We'll do basalt tomorrow. There we go. See, now it's only providing 74, so we need more. But, okay, whatever. I'll take what I can get. And what I can get right now is critical death. I did not realize I was dying. But, you know, here we are. excuse me. Pardon me, coming through. Pardon me. Yep, thank you. Yep, I am aware. I am at death's door, thank you. Okay, there we go. And then, now that we have that going, George, please. That's not George, that's C. All right, George, please. Give me a number 8. No. Try that again, please, George. And then send that in there. And then the refiner gets set to refine cobalt. Okay, that is much better. So that gets us refined cobalt started. Yeah, we about to die. There we go. All right, so that gets us refined cobalt started. Can I, excuse me, please. Can I put this back into the refiner? No. Can we put this back into the miner? Yeah, I can put some of these back into the miner, actually. There we go. More or less. Okay. So there we go. So that gets us everything that we need for now. Oh, it's going to start doing an ad in 4 minutes. I don't want it to, because in 4 minutes I will no longer be online. All right, so that is going to be where we're going to end it for today. I will be back tomorrow. Like I said, I am live every Wednesday to Sunday, usually around 10 a.m. Eastern or New York time, whichever is easiest for you to Google. And we will be playing Eden Crafters until we're done. I don't know when that'll be. But I gotta go. My husband's gonna start texting me soon, and y'all don't want to hear me sit here and text him back and giggle at jokes and flirt with my husband over text. We've been married 16 years last week, and I still flirt with my husband constantly. It's hilarious. Anyway, I will be back tomorrow. I hope you guys have a great day. I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.